Military fighter aircraft can fly as low as 20 feet above the ground during training and when operating in a ground combat support role. The reason they do this is for three reasons. 1. The surprise factor. Combatants on the ground see the aircraft at the very last minute, and by the time they react, the plane is long gone. 2. Close air support. By flying low to the ground, they can accurately drop non-GPS or laser-guided bombs on their targets. Aircraft like the deadly Fairchild Republic A-10 Warthog can loiter over a battlefield for up to 2 hours using its General Electric GAU-8/A Avenger 30mm 6-barrel Gatling gun cannon to decimate enemy vehicles and personnel. 3. To avoid detection by radar. By flying low to the ground and using surrounding hills and valleys, low-flying aircraft can avoid being detected by enemy radar. By hugging the ground, enemy radar is confused by the terrain's topography. Tactics changed after the Vietnam War. Following lessons learned during the Vietnam War, when Soviet Union suppled S-75 surface-to-air missiles shot down many American aircraft, NATO air forces changed tactics. Rather than flying high, they learned it was better to be closer to the ground to avoid radar. Safety and noise during training missions. In the United States, the Federal Aviation Administration controls the country's airspace and decides where low-level military training flights can occur. The United States Air Force goes out of its way to restrict low-level training flights to sparsely populated areas to reduce noise and lessen the risk to the general population in the event of a crash or a mistake using live-fire ammunition. The USAF and the FAA publish flight information and charts so civilian aircraft can avoid areas where military training occurs. Because the military operates high-speed, low-flying training, it is dangerous for civilian air traffic to use the airspace in areas designated for training. In a world where technology is advancing, surface-to-air missiles flying low and fast has become increasingly necessary to avoid getting shot down. The dangers of low-level flying. When flying at low-level ground-hugging altitude, military pilots must keep their wits about them and be ready to react in milliseconds. Dangers associated with low-level training and military operations are collision with electricity towers, wires, wind turbines, buildings, and other structures, a mid-air collision with another military jet or a civilian aircraft that has stayed into military airspace. Bird strikes. If you look at bird strikes, most of them occur when a plane is at a low altitude during takeoffs and landings.